return now to the aggravated robbery which occurred at the Kingsford Superette in Mangere on Tuesday evening. Police have today released CCTV footage of what took place and described it very bluntly. Now, the man in the footage is 24-year-old Vikas Singh. He has his back turned to the shop's door and is stacking shelves at 7:30 on Tuesday night when 4 masked men, 2 armed with machetes, stormed in. He asked for his face not to be shown. He's fearful of retribution, but here is Vikas describing what happened.
They hit me on my head, so and after that I was totally unconscious and fell down on the floor. So after that, I don't know, they punching on my face and nose, but I don't remember. But after a few minutes, I just got up and I see the guy put a knife on my neck and they just asking for the money.
Now, you heard Vikas say a few minutes later, it was actually just seconds. The entire attack was over in less than 28 to be precise. Vikas has been in New Zealand for 3 years with his brother, and after Tuesday's attack, he says he really doesn't feel safe here.
I think this is totally unsafe, now New Zealand going to be unsafe. Before coming, I heard that New Zealand is a very peaceful country, but now the picture is different,
Your world has been shattered, essentially.
Yeah.
Today, when they released the CCTV footage, police also said since February they've arrested 68 people for aggravated robbery in Auckland. Some cases are still under investigation. Normally the police are pretty straight in their language, but at a media conference at the Manakau police station this afternoon, Detective Inspector Fa'amanuia Va'alua let rip. We played you some of the Detective Inspector earlier. Afterwards I spoke to him about what took place at the Kingsford Superette.
It was totally unnecessary. You've got a shop attendant, and you've got a woman in there, and we've got 4 people outnumbering the 2 occupants, and yet they feel the need to bully, violently throw the male victim around, and then the actions of the heavy-set offender, wrapping his arm around in a choker hold and then putting the knife up to his throat, and he actually cut him. There was an amount of blood on the floor. So blood has been spilt. Hence why it's sickening. It's like straight out of the movies. So it's despicable. It's unacceptable in our society. But the reason why the tone that's coming from me is simply because of the prevalence of it. These young people don't seem to have any more respect for society, any more respect for people who are trying to earn a living. So the message from police is for these people to get to this stage, where are their families? Where's the mother and the father? And how did they get to this stage? And as a police response that they can only do is identify the perpetrator, put them before the courts, and have them prosecuted. We need families to be holding their people to account, families to be accountable. We need to remind ourselves of the morals, the respect, the mana. There's the Pacific. They all hail from very good ancestors, and some of them with chiefly titles. It's embarrassing. It's a shame that some of the surnames that I recognise in the arrest books and in the occurrences are titles so highly respected in Samoa. But that goes for all the Pacific Islands. And then I ask about the iwi, the mana of the Māori that we are really focusing on at the moment. I think police are doing so much with our MPES, which is our Māori Pacific Ethnic Services. We do really well, but we can't do it by ourselves. We need the support of the families. We need the support of the community. And the community, if you anecdotal evidence talking to retailers of dairies and liquor stores, they're very happy with what the police are doing. But the police, we do not want to keep investigating and locking people up, because we want our arrest rates and our workload reduced, and that can only happen if these things don't happen in the first place.
I think everyone who sees this footage will be shocked by it. And as you say, there have been so many similar incidents, and it does speak to a big problem. And you are a detective inspector. You're not a politician, you're not a sociologist, you're not an academic who has some insight into what is creating these kids. But what is going wrong that this kind of thing is happening? I mean, and I'm not saying that it would make more sense if the value was greater, but they're stealing a few cigarettes, not even much money. And the violence seems so casual and so brutal. What the hell is happening?
Yes. I think earlier today at a meeting I had with some service station managers, we find ourselves in a dichotomy with the price of cigarettes being increased because, and in some way, towards deterring smokers. But what it does at the opposite end is make cigarettes worth gold. If my tone comes across as a bit harsh, it's only because I feel for the victims. I feel for the male victim in that attack. It's unnecessary. It really is. Why? It could have turned really nasty. A knife was put to him. He was cut. He was bleeding. Really? Do we ask the question? And where's the respect? It's too late when we have these people caught, prosecuted, and the family come over and seek restorative justice and asking for a forgiveness. We need to work so that we can tackle the situation and the issue well before then.
That's Detective Inspector Fa'amanuia Va'aelua talking earlier this afternoon.